All right, let's dive into one of the boldest corporate plays I have seen in a long, long time. And look, this isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. This is a high-stakes chess match for the future of the music we all listen to every single day. It all starts with this absolutely staggering number, $64.31 billion. That is the jaw-dropping amount of money that billionaire investor Bill Ackman is willing to pay to take over Universal Music Group, which is, just the biggest music label in the entire world. A number like that doesn't just buy a company. It can literally reshape an industry.
And you might be asking, what exactly is he trying to buy for $64 billion? Well, he's trying to buy the music itself. He wants control over the catalogs of the biggest artists on the planet. I mean, we are talking Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish, Kendrick Lamar. This is the cultural soundtrack of our generation.
Okay, so let's get into the specifics of the offer. Because when you see the details, you start to realize just how audacious this whole thing really is. So this isn't just some standard run-of-the-mill offer. No way. This is a power move. By offering a 78% premium, think about that, paying almost double what the stock was actually worth on the market, Ackman is basically trying to make an offer that is impossible to refuse. It's a statement. It's designed to get everyone's attention. But here's the thing. A move this massive doesn't just happen out of the blue. This offer, it's actually the grand finale of a long, calculated 5-year obsession. And this timeline just shows you how persistent this guy is. His first shot back in 2021, it fell apart. Regulators got in the way. But did he give up? Nope. He completely changed his strategy. He bought a 10% piece of the company, got himself a seat on the board, and then he waited. He spent years learning the business from the inside out, just biding his time for this exact moment, a full-on move to go from a guy on the board to the guy who owns the place.
So why, right? Why this relentless, multi-year chase? What does Bill Ackman see that he thinks everyone else is missing? Well, that brings us to his big idea.
At the absolute core of this massive bet is one simple belief. He thinks Universal Music Group is an incredible company that is just completely misunderstood and, more importantly, undervalued by the stock market. He sees this hidden strength that the price just doesn't reflect. This slide lays it out perfectly. On the left, you have UMG today. It's listed in Amsterdam. Its stock has been hammered, down about a third, and he thinks its finances are, in his words, underutilized. But then look at the right. That's his vision. Move the company to the New York Stock Exchange, where he believes a tidal wave of cash from big American index funds will pour in, unlocking something like 15 billion euros to just ignite the company's growth. And the plan isn't just about money, it's about a leadership shakeup. He wants to bring in Michael Ovitz, the legendary former president of Disney, to be the chairman. He put 2 of his own people on the board too. But, and this part is key, he wants to keep the current CEO, Lucian Grange. He's trying to frame this whole thing not as a hostile attack, but as a, get this, a collaborative intervention. A friendly way of saying, we're here to help you run things our way.
But, and this is a huge but, there is one giant roadblock standing in the way of Ackman's entire grand vision. And it's not a what, it's a who.
This is where the whole story becomes a real clash of the titans. It doesn't matter how many billions Bill Ackman puts on the table. In the end, the fate of this deal comes down to one person, the French billionaire Vincent Bolloré. He is the man with all the power, the ultimate gatekeeper. And if you want to see what real power looks like, just look at this chart. Through their various companies, the Bolloré family controls around 80% of the voting rights at Universal. Yeah, you read that right, 80%. Which means if Vincent Bolloré doesn't say yes, this whole $64 billion offer is completely dead in the water. So, why should any of us care about this billionaire showdown? Well, because whoever wins could fundamentally change the entire music industry for decades.
Right now, the music business is facing some serious headwinds. It's getting squeezed from 2 different directions. On one side, you have streaming platforms taking a bigger and bigger piece of the pie. And on the other, you have the explosion of AI music, which is creating this massive, chaotic mess around copyright and how artists get paid. It's a really uncertain time.
And this, right here, is the heart of Ackman's bet. He sees all this fear and uncertainty, and he sees a massive opportunity. He believes that a newly restructured UMG, flush with billions in fresh cash, could get way more aggressive in fighting these battles, whether it's negotiating with streaming giants or tackling the AI problem head-on. He's betting he can win the next era of music. So after all the money, all the strategy, and all the ambition, this whole epic story really just boils down to one final, monumental question. It's as simple as this. Will the powerful French billionaire Vincent Bolloré and his family take the deal? Will they sell their crown jewel? Or will they tell Bill Ackman to take his $64 billion and go home? Right now, that is the only question that matters.